We're just going to take ourselves down to the mat with our hips and our chest and our elbows down on the floor, like this. From there, we're going to take our shoulders, we're going to slide them up towards our ears and then slide them back down towards our glutes, like so. Okay, and we're just going to start here with 10 repetitions. Okay, once you've done 10, you're going to take your chin down towards your chest and then take it all the way up, look up, okay, for 10 head nods. But very specific, tuck the chin under and look down. Good. Once we've done that, we're going to look down towards the floor, and again, you're going to focus on your chin. You're going to tuck the chin as if you're trying to tuck. So some of us might sit like this. We're going to push the chin in towards our neck, so the head is in line with spine. So go back to our position. We look down, tuck the chin in, eyes facing down, shoulders down. Look left, and then look right. Good. Once we've done 10 there, we're now going to rotate one shoulder forward, pull one shoulder back, and look round at the feet. Moving with purpose to each side. 5 on each side. Good. From there, we're going to take one hand at 10 o'clock, one at 2 o'clock, bring the chest up, and then we're going to shift our weight to the left hand side and roll the right shoulder down in towards the floor. Okay, a little pause, and then change the position to the other side. 10 times. Good. From there, we're going to take our elbows back underneath the shoulders. Okay. We're going to bend your right leg, lift the knee off the floor, so squeeze the glutes. Okay, keeping the elbows on the floor, which is going to take our leg over, taking the knees away from each other, and then back to centre. So we get a nice stretch through the lower back, but keeping the glutes and the hamstrings engaged. And you're going to move with control. Again, you might not be able to touch the floor. That's okay. We're just looking to get a nice extension through the hip and also movement through the lower back. 10 times. Again, as you move through the sequence, you might find you're engaging the muscles and you're able to reach a little bit further each time through the movement. once we've done that, we're going to take ourselves onto our bums, okay, and sit in a comfortable position with your feet flat on the floor. Again, if you haven't, I'd recommend just taking your socks and your shoes off so you can really get a feel for your foot placement. Later on, you'll find that foot placement is essential to what we're doing, okay, which will transfer into our squats and everything like that. So what we're going to do now is abdominal lowers. Okay, we've done this in the last few sessions. So we start with a nice upright chest position, nice neutral spine, and we take our arms forward, yeah? The shoulders are relaxed. From here, we tuck the pelvis under, okay, and slowly lower ourselves down using the abdominals. If you feel like you're going to lose control, then sit back up. If you can go all the way down with control, then go all the way down. Okay, we're going to do this 5 times. But you're going to find a spot where you feel like you're going to use control, but just squeeze the abs, nice and controlled. Keep those feet flat on the floor. Good. Once we've done 5, I think most of you have finished, we're then going to take our chest down towards the floor into an arched raise. And we're going to do this 5 times. So what we're going to do is take the hands by the side. You're going to open your palms so the palms are facing forward. So we externally rotate the shoulders. From here, feet come together. We squeeze the shoulder blades back. Squeeze the feet together, raise them off the floor. 3, 2, 1, and release. So get nice tension through the upper back, the mid back, the lower back, the glutes, and the arms. So squeeze up, and release. Squeeze up, and release. Up, and release, up, and release. Good. Now we've finished there, we're going to go into a shoulder and chest stretch, taking our arms straight out to the side, placing the shoulders on the floor. We'll start with the left leg coming up and over, and following with the arm. Get a nice stretch across the front of the chest and the shoulder, and then change sides. 5 repetitions on each side. Nice and controlled repetitions. Good. From there, once you're done, shake it off. We're going to go into what's called a quadruped position. So on your knees and on your arms. So we're going to keep one arm locked and straight on the floor. The other arm is going to be behind the back. Okay, and what we're going to be doing, as we move down, the shoulder's going to roll forward. As we come up, we're going to squeeze the shoulder blade back. Okay, keeping the other arm straight. So we roll forward and we squeeze back. 5 times on each side. Good. And then change sides. Again, keep that arm on the floor nice and straight. Roll the shoulder forward, then pull back and open it out. From that position, once you've done your rotations of the T-spine, we're going to go straight into a speed skater, where I'd like you to start thinking about tension through the abdominals, okay, and tension in the arms and the glutes. So we set up position here, we're going to fist the left hand, squeeze it back, so squeezing that arm tight, followed by extending the right leg. So we're in a nice extended position. Once we've done that, we come forward and back 5 times. And then change sides. Really focus on execution and power in this movement, guys. It's a very athletic position, okay? Remember, shoulders down, squeeze the arm, belly and leg. 5 times. Once you've done that, relax. Next, we're going to go into a seated hip flow. We're going to place our feet outside the hips. Okay, like this. Okay, in a nice, comfortable position here. And what we're going to do is just roll the knees towards the floor, touch the knees on the floor, and then move side. Nice and controlled repetitions. Good. Perfect. Okay, so next, we're going to go now into work on our hips. So before we start, if you'd like to just grab some water, just to sip if you feel like you need to. I do. I'm actually hot and sweaty a little bit. But you should feel a little bit looser now in the shoulders. And we brought awareness to things like the abdominals, the hips and the shoulders. Okay, so what we're going to do next, we're going to start with 2 strength building movements as a test, and then we retest at the end. The first movement is a split squat, where we're going to do 5 repetitions on one side and 5 on the other side. So what we're going to do here is we're going to get ourselves set up into a split squat position. So the way I do this, I start with my feet together and then take a step back, okay? What we want here is an even distribution of weight between the front foot and the back foot, okay? What I'd like you to do then is bring awareness now to the position of the hips. So we need to activate the glutes. So we need to tilt the pelvis slightly forward, squeezing the glutes, okay? And then we're just going to bring our arms by our side. Now from here, with that butt squeezed at the back, we're going to lower, touch the knee, drive back up. 5 times. And then step forward. Same again with the other side. Again, find your foot placement. As I suggested earlier, foot placement is really important. So using your big toe to create stability and driving through the middle of your foot. Tilt the pelvis, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the arms, chest up, down, up. 5 times. And step forward. Next is our squat. Now, if you've got a weight handy, like a kettlebell or even a water bottle, I'd like you to grab it. If you don't, it's okay. I'm going to use my kettlebell. If we haven't got anything, what you can do is just hold your hands and your elbows in towards your chest. That's all you can do, that's absolutely fine. So, we're going to grab our kettlebell, find your squat position, and again, what I'd like you to think about is the position of our pelvis, okay? Am I overarching through the back, okay? What I'd like you to do is just find your squat position, squeeze the glutes, okay, and establish a tight belly. So take a breath into the core, so activate through the core. And then what we're going to do then is work on the hinge first. So we push the hips back, and then we push the knees out, and we go down, and then we drive back up. And we're going for 5 repetitions. So we push the hips back, sit down, drive up. And relax. Good. So, some of you are still going, that's fine. So, your body would have given you some sort of feedback during the lunge and the squat there. So, 2 really important parts that we use in our training. Some of you with the lunge, with the split squat, would have felt really tight on the hip flexors, particularly if you were tilting the pelvis. You would have had a tightness through here. So this is where we're going to start sort of trying to lengthen, mobilise those areas. So when we go into it with weight resistance in our training, we can execute more effectively. And this will give you some food for thought moving in preparation for those. So to start off with, we're going to go into a very simple quad stretch. So I've done with this at the gym before, where I have everyone lie down flat on the floor. And what we're going to do is find our hip bone, the bone that sticks out on our hip. And what we're going to do is lie down on the floor, okay, and push that hip bone into the floor. Again, your back foot might raise up, that's okay. Just find that hip bone on the floor. And again, your bum might tighten up, which is what we want, okay? This is going to help us lengthen the front part of our leg. Once we've found the hip bone, we're going to grab the ankle, keeping the hip bone on the floor, okay, and then squeezing the foot in towards the glutes and holding. And some of you are going to feel the stretch there, okay, particularly if you are squeezing that glute and that hip bone's on the floor. And we're just going to hold this for about another 15 seconds. And change. So same on the other side. Find that hip bone. Again, be very specific. Find it, push it into the floor, activate the glutes, grab the ankle, knees together and squeeze. Ten seconds. And relax. Okay, come back up. So, now we've lengthened out that area, what we're going to do now is try and coordinate the activation now of the glutes and the abdominals. I've called it the pelvic tilt flow. Similar mechanics to that of like an original strength push-up. Only difference is we're not going into a push-up position, okay? We're going to start with our arms out in front, tuck the toes under, bum onto the heels, and from there, we're going to come up onto all fours. Now the alignment of the pelvis, you can see now my spine is neutral. What I'm going to do now is tuck the pelvis under and squeeze the belly tight. At the same time, squeeze the glutes. And you're going to go down as far as you can, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the abs, and then you're going to come back. into that back position. And then you're going to try it again and try and go a little bit further with that activation of both the glutes and the abdominals. And back. So we're going to go through this 10 times. So you really need to listen to your body on this one, guys. Tucking the pelvis, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the belly, nice and tight. Lifting the chest up. So tucking the pelvis, most important thing, go into that posterior tilt of the pelvis, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the abs. Nice controlled repetitions, guys. Good. And rest. Okay, so I'm hoping you all felt that activation here in the glutes and the abdominals. We're now going to transfer that into a gymnastic hold, the plank. And we're going to hold this for about 15 seconds, but with absolute focus on the abdominals and the glutes. And we're going to start it by what we've just done here in that pelvic tilt flow. So, hands down, keeping our knees down to start off with. We tuck the pelvis, going into that hollow position as we know through gymnastics at the gym. From here, raise the feet up, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the belly, and hold for 15 seconds. And rest. Good. So again, grab some water if you need to. Good. Right. So with what we've just worked on mechanically through activating the glutes and the abdominals, we're going to work on now learning that holding those two areas in activations through movement patterns that are getting closer to our lunge and our squat. So the first one we're going to do here is a lunge rock. Now we visited this last week, where we're going to go into a lunge position with our hips facing forward, but one leg's going to be out at 90 degrees here. This is where we're going to start really isolating areas of the hips to stretch. Okay? So this leg here that I'm kneeling on, the foot is back, this here is at 90 degrees. Now as I swivel my hips forward, this knee's coming forward, so I need to just push that knee out, and you're already going to start feeling a stretch on the inner thigh. Now, squeeze the glutes here, so tuck that pelvis under, squeeze the abdominals, hands out in front, and from there, we're going to lean over that foot up to the side, and then come back forward to center. And we're going to do this 5 times, nice and controlled. And then back to center, change side. Again, you'll find foot placement again is important in this. Feeling your toes, your big toe, position itself on the floor to help stabilize that position of the knee. Okay, if we don't put pressure, our knee's going to want to come forward. So we're going to use the placement of the foot to keep our knee direction in the right way. So again, push the knee out, squeeze the hips facing forward. Okay, squeeze the glutes straight in. Again, one side might feel different to the other. I'm actually a bit tighter on this side than the other side. Good. We're going to come off the knees now. Okay, stand up, shake it off. Cool. So next, we're going to go into what's called a discus lunge. One of my favourite movements at the moment for really activating the hips and using the power of the glutes. Okay, so we're going to go into our lunge position, and what we're going to do here is, I'm sure you all know what a discus throw is, but it requires rotation. So what we're going to do is we're going to place into a lunge position, and as we move in the lunge, so we're going to drop the back knee, we're going to twist through the hips, not through the back. So our hips and this is why we need our abdominals and glutes to be moving at the same time. We're going to twist through the hips, and you're going to load that front leg, and then you're going to drive back up. Okay, you're going to feel it through the glutes and the hamstrings. And we're going to do this 5 times on each leg, okay, in your own time. So belly tight, twist through the hips, keep the belly tight, and then drive back up. Again, once you're done, change sides. Remember, find that balance on your feet. Squeeze the glutes, tilt that pelvis into alignment. Good. Excellent. Okay, guys. So I'm hoping a lot of you there are feeling the tension through the hip joint and the glutes, activating the glutes. What we're going to do now is going to challenge you a little bit more. Okay, we're going to be standing on one leg. Okay, so if you lose balance, it's okay, don't worry, just try and find it again. But again, what we're looking for is for you to move through the hip joint. The hip joint sits like this, and we're going to allow the hip to move around so we can establish that engagement with the glutes. At the same time, we need to make sure we're activated through the abs, so we're not twisting through the back. So let me show you one repetition of what we're going to do next. It's called an aeroplane rotation, okay? So first of all, we're going to take the weight onto one leg, okay? Pushing our hips back as if you're going to sit down, okay? Once you've found a nice level of stability here, we're going to extend the back leg and bring the arms out like this, okay? And then from there, I'm ever so slightly going to twist as if I'm an aeroplane moving through the side. So I'm going to go one way, and then I'm going to go the other way. Come back to center, and then you stand. And you're going to feel that hip joint move, and also the engagement through the glutes, okay? So, we'll start together. We'll do 5 on each leg, okay? Now, the rotation, guys, is about 2 inches. So don't think like you've got to go all the way here like this, okay? All it is just a small rotation. You'll feel it in the hip joints, okay? So, find your foot placement. Big toe down, nice flat foot. Find your balance. Sit down, so push your hips back into that nice hinge position, arms out, extend the leg if you can, and then rotate. One way, and then the other way, back to center, stand. Get ready for your next one, find your balance, go in again. Again, find that hinged position. Keep the belly tight, no twisting through the back. Once you've done 5 on that first leg, then move to 5 on the second leg. I'm going to start my second leg now. How is everyone getting on? Let's have a look. Again, try not to twist through the spine. It's twisting in that hip joint. Once you've done that first round, guys, have a quick water and we're all going to start the second round together. Okay, so make sure you've got the water. I think everyone's just about done on that first round. Quite tough, no? Those aeroplanes are quite tough. But I find really good for that, finding that stability through the hip joint. Okay, so we're going to retest. I'm hoping you guys are going to find a nice difference in your squat and your lunge there. So we're going to go straight back into our quad stretch. So finding our hip bone. So one more round, guys, and then we're going to get to the end of the session. So lay down onto the floor, find your hip bone, push it down into the floor, activate the glutes, grab onto the ankle and squeeze. Again, might be a little bit easier this time. Hold for 20 seconds. And change leg. Again, with emphasis, hip bone into the floor, activate the glute, grab onto the ankle, and squeeze. Good, and change. So, revisiting our pelvic tilt flow now, guys. So, remember, we're coordinating the activation of the glute and the abdominal. So, first few reps, do with control and purpose, and find your flow. So, tilt, squeeze the abs, squeeze the glutes, open out. Tuck that pelvis, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the belly, keep it tight. Good. Once we've done that, we're going to go into a plank. I'll just wait for everyone to finish. We're doing this together. Again, we're not rushing the movements, so keep going at your own pace, guys. 10 reps. Nice. Okay, guys, so we're going to go into our plank. So again, with emphasis on that tilt of the pelvis, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the abs, pull the shoulders down, hold. That nice hollow position. Good, and rest. Again, just take a sip of water if you need to, and then we're going to go into our last part, into our lunge rocks and discus and aeroplane. Right, so into your lunge position, one leg at 90 degrees. Now this leg's going to go a little bit further this time, just going to edge it forwards, just to get a little bit more range in the stretch. Okay, tucking the pelvis, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the belly, pushing that knee out, arms in front, push the hips down, 5 reps. Squeeze the glutes the whole time. Once you've done 5, then change. Again, that may have been a little bit easy that round for some. Again, go edge your foot a little bit further forward. Remember, push the knee out, hips facing forward, chest up, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the abs, and rock. Good. And then stand. Good. So we're going to go revisit the discus lunge, where we're learning how to load the hips and the glutes, and rotating through the hips. We're not twisting the back, okay? So we're twisting through the glutes. So find your lunge position. Again, get an even distribution between your both feet. Use your big toes for stability. Tuck that pelvis, squeeze the glutes, abs, okay? And then rotate on the way down. Squeeze the glutes, drive back up. And then change. Again, find your stability. Tilt the pelvis, squeeze the glutes, brace the belly, and rotate. Good. Okay. Last movement before we go into our little retest of the split squat and the squats. Into our aeroplane. So what I'd like you to do this time is start on the foot that you finished last time, if you can remember. Okay, so then find your foot position, your placement. Okay. Raise the other leg off the floor, push the hips back, keep the belly tight. Arms back, extend that back leg. Small rotations. 5 on one side, 5 on the other side. Remember, it's very specific in your setup, or if you've lost control, then re-establish your control. Remember your foot placement, sitting into your hips, into your glutes, keeping that core tight, arms tight, rotation through the hip. Nice work, guys. Keep that balance. Okay, once you're done, guys, I think everyone's just about done. We're coming to the end of the session now. We're going to go into that retest of the split squat and the goblet squat, okay? So, again, start with your feet together and we're going to take a step back, okay? Find the balance between both legs, find your foot placement, chest up, squeeze the arms, squeeze the belly, tuck that pelvis, squeeze the glutes, and lower yourself down, drive back up, 5 times. And then step back forward, into the other side. Again, foot placement, tucking that pelvis, even weight distribution, squeezing the abs, squeezing the glutes, lower and drive. Good. And then to finish up with, guys, grab your weight or your water bottle or hold your arms in front of your body with your elbows tight to the body, like this. Find your squat position. Again, brace the abdominals, squeezing the glutes, hinge the hips back, push the knees out, and drive. Okay, thank you, guys.